Introducing the NFL Legacy Collection. Inspired by the AFL 50th anniversary. Authentic game jerseys, t-shirts, jackets, and other gear. Available at select retailers and NFLshop.com. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
Radar to help watch for the unforeseeable. Infrared to help protect. Satellites to help guide. Electricity to adjust how powerfully or efficiently you drive. Someday, we'll all drive like this. The first ever HS Hybrid, only from Lexus.
Our vision. Redefine high definition. Create blacker blacks for brighter colors. Using greener methods. We're revolutionizing how you watch, listen, and live. At Vizio, we find a better way, and we make it for everyone.
It's not over.
The #1 movie of the year and get more than you saw in theaters. Transformers, a Michael Bay film. Own it on Tudas DVD and Blu-ray Tuesday, October 20th.
They were friends and assistant coaches together with the Philadelphia Eagles. They are still good friends, but now John Harbaugh heads up the Ravens. Brad Childress is in charge of the Vikings, and their teams clash under the dome next in Sony High Definition.
Presenting Subway Fresh Buzz, a look at football's most buzzworthy teams, brought to you by Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. Subway, eat fresh.
Hey, this is what we have.
They're not the best rappers. But with Kyle Orton and Brandon Marshall leading the offense and clutch kicking from Matt Prater, the Broncos are still undefeated.
In overtime for the win. Kick on the way. Denver is 5-0.
Two feared pass rushers, Michael Strahan and Justin Tuck, and Jared.
To celebrate Subway continuing their famous $5 footlong, I thought it'd be nice if we all sang the $5 footlong song.
$5 footlong. It's going strong, going strong.
Sounds great, huh? Subway $5 footlongs, a yummylicious deal of bodacious flavor. Just $5 all day, every day.
Subway, eat fresh.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Bottom line is, stick your head in his mouth today, and let's see who the real champs is. In the end zone, touchdown! Boom! Sack! He lost the ball. Adrian Peterson is gone.
And welcome back to Minneapolis, everyone. A packed house to watch the 5-0 Vikings take on the 3-2 Baltimore Ravens. The Vikings have won the toss, and they will receive That is the rookie and the #1 draft pick of the Vikings. Percy Harvin, second best kick returner in the league thus far, averaging 31.2 yards a carry. He has a 101-yard return against San Francisco for a touchdown. Baltimore set to kick it away, and we're underway. This is Harvin at the 6. 25-30, and that's awfully quick. All the way out to the 38-yard line for a first down. And here comes the Viking quarterback, his 275th consecutive start. Brett Favre off to the first 5-0 start of his career. 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. Ray Lewis yesterday called him the ultimate warrior.
Well, that shot certainly looks like one. What a test today, though, for the Vikings. Their 5-0 record, 3 of the teams they played have, 2 of them have 1-4 records, one of them 0-5. Their biggest test of the year.
Favre calling signals with Adrian Peterson in the backfield behind him. And the play fake, Favre pulls it down, now gets rid of it, and that is complete to Jim Kleinsasser. As we check out the offensive line, Favre has a terrific O-line, highlighted by a pair of 6'8 tackles in McKinney and Lodeholt, and the great Steve Hutchinson at left guard. And speaking of great, number 28, Adrian Peterson, the NFL rushing king a year ago, his 7 rushing touchdowns, the most in the NFL this season.
And the Vikings offensively, we already saw some of their good news with Percy Harvin returning the opening kickoff. Obviously his shoulder is okay.
On 2nd and 7, the give is to Peterson, and Peterson with running room breaks free into Baltimore territory and inside the 35-yard line before Ed Reed brings him down. He just chewed off a quick 26 yards and a first down.
Boy, and what did John Harbaugh tell us yesterday? We just can't let him get explosive big plays. Look at that crease open up right off of Steve Hutchinson on the left guard, the seal to the inside, and Peterson breaks the tackle. And this is exactly what Baltimore did not want to see. Adrian Peterson running loose.
On first down, it's Peterson again, and Peterson inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. The Ravens 3-man front. Big Haloti Ngata on one side, Trevor Price on the other, Kelly Gregg in the middle. The familiar number 52 Ray Lewis at an inside linebacker spot, bringing along a fellow Miami Hurricane second-year man Tavares Gooden. And the Ravens have one of the best safeties in all of football in Ed Reed. 45 career picks, 13 career touchdowns, including a 52-yarder last week against the Bengals. Peterson gets a breather. Chester Taylor into the backfield.
Check, 200. 200. 380.
On 2nd and 7, Favre throws the slant, and that is complete to the 15-yard line. Nice grab by Sidney Rice.
Well, Sidney Rice, one of the largest targets that Brett Favre has ever had at 6'4", and he is really coming on. And look how he makes that beautiful adjustment to a ball that's thrown well behind him.
Brett Favre likes Sidney Rice, says he's got terrific ball skills. Head coach Jim Harbaugh.
Go!
The pitch for Taylor, right side. That one goes nowhere, courtesy of Terrell Suggs.
Well, this is a Baltimore defensive football team that, you know, they're missing Bart Scott, who's now with the New York Jets. Their defensive coordinator for years, Rex Ryan, is the the head coach rather of the Jets now. So he's gone. Greg Madison has taken his place, but the core of this unit remains the same. They've got a plus with Kelly Gregg, the nose tackle, coming back. But as long as Ray Lewis and Ed Reed are in the middle, it's business as usual.
3 tight ends now for Favre. Penalty markers fly. Favre for the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, it looked like Kelly Gregg was offsides. So this touchdown should stand.
Visanthe Shiancoe. Here's Mike Carey.
Defense number 97. Decline for good.
Well, Brett Favre did it all that time. The hard count, he got the offsides, and then he throws a bullet. Right in the middle of your screen, there's Kelly Gregg. He's in the neutral zone. Actually, it's Bannon, not Gregg. They called Gregg's number, but it was Bannon. But look at that strike to Shiancoe. A beautiful hands grab. That was sweet.
Shiancoe's 4th touchdown catch of the year. The extra point is good. 6 plays, 61 yards. Brett Favre gets the Vikings on the board first. 7-0 Minnesota.
Southwest Airlines, we love bags.
We love duffel bags, golf bags, small bags.
These bags right here, they fly free.
I wouldn't pay to fly in here.
Why would these airlines charge for bags?
Why do you charge for bags?
What's a flight without bag fees?
Cheaper.
Free, 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 free.
We love taking care of bags.
Bye, bags.
We'll see you when you get home.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. A tornado hits. Air Life Denver takes off. Their night vision goggles keeping the rescue mission safe. And powering those goggles, the only battery Air Life trusts. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
It's endless shrimp at Red Lobster. Indulge in endless choices of your favorite shrimp, including new wood-grilled shrimp with a teriyaki glaze. It's endless shrimp, our best value of the year, now at Red Lobster.
Wednesday, get ready to dance till you drop.
Our Vic took first place. If the prize money was the motive, then why was it still there?
Why don't we ask the guy who came in second?
You ever see this guy before? Did he do something wrong?
Yeah. He stepped in front of a gun while someone else was pulling the trigger.
A new CSI New York, Wednesday, only CBS.
The Minnesota scoring drive. Brett Favre throws a touchdown pass, at least one in each of his first 6 games this season. That was number 474, which is number 1 all time.
Well, he had some help on that drive, Greg. Sidney Rice made an outstanding catch, and that catch by Shiancoe was exceptional.
Lardarius Webb to the 20. Look, and a pretty abrupt stop at the 22-yard line. As Dan mentioned, Visanthe Shiancoe, a sweet grab in the end zone for the 7-0 Viking lead.
This is John Park's restricted calling circle. He's saying toodaloo and switching to Sprint with any mobile, anytime. Now on the Sprint network, he can call any mobile phone on any network anytime he wants without worrying about the meter running. So he's decided to call every mobile phone in the country. He'll finish just after his 93rd birthday. Welcome to the Now Network. Get unlimited calling to every mobile phone nationwide when you switch to any mobile, anytime. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
So, heading to the doctor? Yeah. You gonna ask him this time? About what? Our erectile dysfunction. Shh, no, I don't want to talk about it. Look, you're not alone. Millions of men with ED have talked to their doctors. I don't know. We can do this. Okay.
Talking to your doctor about ED may be the last thing you want to do, but it's definitely a conversation worth having. 20 million men have had their Viagra talk. When you're ready for yours, you'll find helpful tips on talking to your doctor at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. Talk to your doctor today and ask if Viagra is right for you.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL.
Welcome back, everyone. The Baltimore Ravens start in a hole, a 7-point hole at their own 23-yard line. This is Ray Rice looking for running room and not getting any at all. Joe Flacco is the Ravens quarterback in his second season out of Delaware. Fine rookie year last year under his belt. He has thrown 9 touchdown passes so far this year. Like to call him Joe Cool, and he certainly does. In our talks with him yesterday, Dan, feel like he's gotten a little bit more of a grasp on things.
Oh, yeah. Well, and of course, that just comes with your second year in the league.
Ray Rice across the 25 to about the 27, and with left tackle Jared Gaither out with a neck injury, the rookie Michael Orr moves over from right tackle, and third-year man Marshall Yanda takes over on the right side. The backs and receivers, and Ray Rice, you just saw him. He leads the Ravens in both rushing and receiving through their first 5 games.
And Greg, the Michael Orr matchup with that guy right there, Jared Allen. A lot of people here, that's why they're here. They want to watch Jared Allen have fun.
3rd and 6. Loose ball. And Mike Carey rules incomplete.
And there's Jared Allen and Michael Orr going at it right off the bat. Great anticipation, and look at Jared Allen. He dips that head, stays in there, but that's good work by Michael Orr. Look at him. He gets good leverage. He drops his hips, and he runs Jared Allen by. The pressure that got to Joe Flacco came up the middle. The rookie did a good job.
Jamar Johnson is deep for the kick. Line drive kick. He takes it at his 32. Sidesteps the tackler up the sideline to the 45 before he is brought down. Just a little over 9.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Minnesota back on offense again with a 7-0 lead.
Monopoly is back at McDonald's. And this year, every day is another chance online to win a roll for $1 million. So what's your game?
My wish? Every channel I want in beautiful HD. So I'm switching to DirecTV.
And that's taking HD to the limit.
To lock in your price for 1 year, call 1-800-DIRECTV.
With COPD, I was short of breath, so I couldn't always do what I wanted to do. But 5 minutes ago, I took Symbicort, and Symbicort is already helping significantly improve my lung function. So today, I've noticed a significant difference in my breathing, and I'm doing more of what I want to do. So we're clear, it doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. My doctor said Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. My COPD often meant I had to wait to do what I wanted to do. Now I take Symbicort, and it significantly improves my lung function, starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort has made a significant difference in my breathing. Now more of my want-tos are can-dos. Ask your doctor about Symbicort today. I got my first prescription free. Call or go online to learn more.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Hey, we invite you to watch fantasy football today to get the last-minute news and analysis you need to set your fantasy league lineup. Live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, only on CBSSports.com. Line of scrimmage, the Minnesota 45, and there's a good look for you, Dan, with Halloween upcoming.
A lot of people here. They're into the purple colors. Ragnar's always here. The horns blowing. Vikings on display everywhere.
Favre and company from their own 45-yard line. And a little jumping up front. This one will go against
offense number 64.
Anthony Herrera, the right guard.
First down.
There's Brad Childress. Now in his 4th season as the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He's tough coach and fun to talk to, isn't he?
Oh, he sure is. A very likable guy. And then John Harbaugh, a couple acorns off of the Andy Reid coaching tree, both leading their teams against each other today.
Alert, 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 alert!
Now on 1st and 15, straight drop for Favre up the seam. He's got his man inside the 40-yard line. Shiancoe with the catch. Well, we have a moment. Our first update of the day to New York and James Brown. What you got, JB?
Hey, Greg and Dan. Aaron Rodgers on the Packers' opening drive, hooking up. Take a look at this beauty here. 47-yard pass play to James Jones. That caps a 6-play, 80-yard drive. Boy, Detroit has lost 18 straight on the road to the Packers. 7-0 Green Bay. Greg and Dan.
All right, JB. First down for Favre, and he sets up the screen. Here's Peterson around the right side, cuts it back to about the 30-yard line. That'll be about a yard short of the first down. Terrell Suggs making the stop.
Well, and right now, Darrell Bevell, the offensive coordinator, he is calling a game that's got Baltimore a little off balance. With Peterson runs downfield to Shiancoe and Rice, and now the screen pass. He's got a nice combination going right now. There's Bevell walking the sidelines. His 4th year calling the shots, and right now he's calling an awfully good game, an awfully good start.
2nd and 1 for Favre. Adrian Peterson has the first down to about the 26. Ray Lewis in on the stop. Ray Lewis, who's been in the news in more ways than one lately, says he will appeal some fines that have been levied against him by the National Football League.
Well, he got the $25,000 FedEx envelope for a couple of plays. One, the most noticeable, where he separated Mr. Ocho Cinco in his helmet.
Now from the Baltimore 26. Favre with a straight block. Straight drop and throws to the near side. Nobody there.
Well, last week in that loss to the Bengals, one of the things that led to the loss was the penalty flag that was thrown on that hit right there that extended a Cincinnati drive. It wasn't a helmet-to-helmet hit. Ray said he was fined actually for hitting a defenseless receiver, but it gave Cincinnati a first down at a really critical time. But Ray said, hey, that would happen every time. I was on my way. There's no stopping after a certain point.
That last pass, Favre's first incomplete pass of the day. 2nd and 10. Here is Peterson trying to find running room. Cuts back to about the 23-yard line where Lewis makes the stop again. And Ray Lewis, we asked him about Adrian Peterson. All he said simply was that Peterson plays the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Well, after 14 years, Ray Lewis has seen a lot of promising rookies and young players come into this league. Now, not many have exploded onto the scene quite to the level that Adrian Peterson has. But Ray said, look, it's why you play. You want to measure yourself against the guys who are the best. And right now, AP's in that position.
Now 3rd and 7. No one jumps. Straight drop for Favre. He looks. Oh, what a catch. Inside the 10-yard line. Inside the 5. Sidney Rice. 1st and goal for Minnesota.
Wow, is Brett Favre working that intermediate area. And Brett wants to do the hurry up. He's trying to get his guys up to the line in a hurry. But he's working that 15-yard zone there behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties. He has found a hole, and he's exploiting it.
And now Favre calls a timeout. Can't get the play off the way he wants it, and calls a timeout with 6:20 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Vikings, and they're knocking on the door again.
It's not just where you are, but where you want to be. And with easy drinking Busch Light, the mountains are closer than you think. Busch.
Gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain. Ain't never coming back.
Isn't it time to head for the mountains?
While I was building my friendships, my family, while I was building my life, my high cholesterol was contributing to plaque buildup in my arteries. That's why my doctor prescribed Crestor. She said plaque buildup in arteries is a real reason to lower cholesterol. And that along with diet, Crestor does more than lower bad cholesterol. It raises good. Crestor is also proven to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you are taking, or if you have muscle pain or weakness, that could be a sign of serious side effects. While you've been building your life, plaque may have been building in your arteries. Find out more about slowing the buildup of plaque at Crestor.com. Then ask your doctor if it's time for Crestor.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Don't miss The Big Bang Theory, Monday after 2.5 Men, only CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, with a just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability. And by the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Back in Minneapolis, Brett Favre had called timeout for a lack of players on the field.
They only had 9. He really desperately wanted to run a play, but I think it's best to go with your full complement of 11.
13 touchdowns and 18 red zone trips for the Vikings so far this season. Favre throwing, all wide open, touchdown pass to Bernard Berrian.
Wow, did they run a pick, or did 2 Ravens just run into one another?
That was easy.
Yes, and it's because there was a collision. Watch over here on the left. Brett working that way the whole way. You see 2 Ravens over there. You see Percy Harvin breaking to the outside. Both Baltimore players go with him, turning Berrian completely loose, much to the chagrin of John Harbaugh.
Extra point is up and good. We have 6 minutes, 16 seconds to play in the first quarter, and the Minnesota Vikings out to a 2-touchdown lead.
With my Nuvie phone, I can take calls from my friends while I'm driving to them.
With my Nuvie phone, I can turn last-minute plans into lasting memories.
With my Nuvie phone, it's easy to stay in touch with friends.
Even in the most uncertain times, there are some things we know for sure. There will still be weddings, still be babies, and still be bright futures. That's why New York Life has been helping families plan for the expected and unexpected for 164 years. Backed by the highest ratings for financial strength, we're safe and secure, so you can be too. Give your family the gift of a secure financial future. New York Life, the company you keep.
Papa John knows how to make a hungry crowd happy.
Papa's in the house.
Introducing Papa John's new Mega XL3 Pizza. XL because it's extra large with 10 huge slices. 3 because you get your choice of any 3 toppings. Just $11.99.
The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation, better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Race on a track or race through the desert.
It's actually really cool to see this in person.
How hard is it to find the world's tallest building?
I'm not a fan of heights.
We may have to jump off.
New Amazing Race tonight, only CBS.
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44.
Brett Favre, his second touchdown pass of the day, 14-0 Minnesota. Baltimore, just 3 offensive plays for a total of -4 yards, still looking for their first down of the day. Not the kind of start Coach Harbaugh wanted to get off to.
I think that might be a fair assessment. pretty much the worst that can happen, especially on the road.
Darius Webb going to take this kick at his own 2. Trying to turn the corner, penalty markers flying all over the field as he's knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line by Cedric Griffin. Mike Carey going to get the details. And give them to us.
During the return, homing, receiving team number 82, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Let's go back to that touchdown pass.
Yeah, you know, here's Percy Harvin right over here, circled. Watch him come out there now. My definition of a pick is you pick off the defender that's supposed to be covering the receiver, and he just steamrolls Fabian Washington. And I'm a little surprised that that wasn't called, because Fabian Washington was looking at Bernard Berrian the entire way and just got run over by the rookie.
This is LeRon McClain. And McClain pulled up at the 14-yard line by Jared Allen and Cedric Griffin. Ever since we hit town, Dan, you've been talking about what a 6-day stretch Jared Allen had.
Well, you're talking about sacks and safeties and fumble recoveries for touchdowns and forced fumbles and everything else. But it's his awesome speed and his motor that just knows no idle.
Play fake to Rice. Flacco going to go deep. Has a man open and overthrew him just a little bit. Looks like it went right through the hands of Derrick Mason. Joe Flacco threw that ball a long way.
Well, Joe Flacco has one of the strongest arms in football, especially if you're just talking about raw distance. And a mistake in the Minnesota secondary. They turned Derrick Mason loose, and Mason just not able to adjust to that ball and just finds himself about 3 or 4 inches short of having it land in his palm.
Looked like Derrick Mason hesitated just a bit on that pattern, and it cost him. From the shotgun now, Flacco throwing outside here, incomplete. Mark Clayton closest to the football. The Ravens will have to kick it away.
The frustrating thing for the Ravens is that opportunities like that only come along maybe at the most 3 times in a football game. And to not capitalize, especially being down by 2 touchdowns, very, very frustrating.
2 straight 3-and-outs for the Baltimore offense, and that is Jamar Johnson deep.
Greg, you can play a couple games without finding a guy that wide open.
Johnson from his 34 across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. While we have a moment, we'll remind you, tomorrow, every hero has his day, but for one CSI, this could be his last. New CSI Miami tomorrow here on CBS, America's most watched network.
Well, here are the Vikings now starting their 3rd offensive possession.
There's a Viking.
Once again in outstanding field position. So not only is Baltimore in a trailing position, but they're also having to defend a short field on a repeated basis.
They've started from their own 39, their 45, and now the 43-yard line. Play fake to Peterson. Favre running out of time, and he goes down back at his 34-yard line. Leading the way is Trevor Price.
Well, they're 2 for 2 on their possession so far. It got started with his 26-yard burst by Adrian Peterson as he gets into the 3rd level of the Baltimore. And then Visanthe Shiancoe making a beautiful fingertip grab. Again, Shiancoe plays a pivotal role. And then after the pick, Bernard Berrian makes it a 14-point game. And that sack of Favre, the best thing that's happened to Baltimore defensively yet.
Trevor Price is 4th of the season, 2nd and 19. Favre, pump fake, pulled it down. Little drop over the middle to Peterson out to the 40-yard line. Tavares Gooden, the second-year linebacker out of the University of Miami, with the stop.
And Tavares Gooden, a lot of eyes on him. He plays the jack linebacker for Baltimore, and of course that was Bart Scott's position. And Bart Scott was such a good player, is such a good player for the Jets right now. But Tavares Gooden, it's an uphill climb to try to reach that level where Bart Scott played the game.
Baltimore with a chance for a stop here on 3rd and 13.
Here comes the blitz off the edge.
Favre knocked down on the far side of the field by Dominique Foxworth.
The crowd booing a little bit. They think there was an interference on here. Foxworth been around a long time. He did pull the shirt. He hooks the arm.
Although he's trying to work his way around an arm bar there.
Yeah, there was contact was initiated on both parts. I think that was a pretty good no call.
Kick it away end over end. That should take a Minnesota bounce, and it does. Inside the 15, inside the 10-yard line, all the way to about the 7.5. Not a bad kick by Chris Kluwe. 52 yards in all. Hey, join the official NFL fan community at NFL.com/fans and comment on the latest news with thousands of other users. Live chats, great player performances, watch video, and more only at NFL.com/fans.
And we just talked about Minnesota's positive field position. Baltimore's negative field position continues. Not many drives that start inside your own 10-yard line end up with anything good happening.
Willis McGahee into the backfield for the first time today for Baltimore. He gets the handoff. He gets nowhere.
Well, this run defense of Minnesota for years has been in the top 5 in the league. You know, Jared Allen is a pass rusher, but it all starts with the two monsters in the middle, the two Williams, Kevin and Pat. And Jared Allen, if only he had a high energy level.
Yeah.
There's their defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier. His 3rd year calling the signals.
2nd and 9. Flacco to throw this side of the field, and that is complete across the 25 to Mark Clayton. That'll be enough for a first down. We go to James Brown in New York.
Hey, Greg and Dan, Saints are doing it to the #1 ranked defense in the NFL, that of the Giants. Take a look here. Drew Brees hooking up with Marcus Colston. 28-yard pass play. That was a key play because Drew Brees hooked up for a 1-yarder with Jeremy Shockey. 14-0 Saints over the Giants in the first. Back to Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf.
Hey, JB, we saw those New Orleans Saints 2 weeks ago against the New York Jets, and they looked pretty good then, too.
And we saw the Giants last week, and they didn't look too bad either. Monster first down that time by Joe Flacco.
Here's Jared Allen and that motor running coming across the line, but this is going to go against Baltimore.
Start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty is still first.
That's the rookie, Michael Orr.
And as a tackle, in the crowd noise, you are at a distinct disadvantage. You've got to look in at the football, and Michael, you can point all you want, but you did actually a double flinch. You would have gotten called on the first one. The second one was just icing. And now, again, the crowd knows they got a false start by being loud, and here they come again.
You know, Michael Orr told us last night the key to stopping him is to play fast with him, but that's a tall order. 1st and 15. Play clock down to 1. Get the snap away. They give it to McGahee, and McGahee to about the 25. E.J. Henderson making the stop.
Willis McGahee has been the primary running back for the Ravens the last couple of years, but Ray Rice has really come on. Ray Rice getting a whole lot more carries in the early going here in 09. But Willis McGahee still a solid producer. The guy has scored 7 touchdowns already this year, 5 rushing, 2 receiving. Nice combination though, Rice and McGahee.
Flacco. Running out of time, flips it out to McLean. McLean comes up short of the 25-yard line. Cedric Griffin with the nice tackle.
Well, we told you that we're really going to follow Jared Allen and Michael Orr. Let's check him out this time. Good hands by Michael Orr. And actually, Michael Orr has Allen under control, and he gets chipped and knocked back to the inside away from Orr. That's where a tackle got a little help that he didn't need.
3rd and 12. Flacco over the middle, that's complete, but short of a first down, out to the 30-yard line to Derrick Mason.
Nice tackle by Chad Greenway. Talk about keeping the guy in front of you, and Joe Flacco looks like he's hobbled a little bit as he heads over towards the Ravens sideline. Don't see anything at the end of the play. Flacco didn't get hit, but what a perfect form tackle by Chad Greenway.
Sam Cook to kick, but before he does, we have a timeout on the field. It's been all Minnesota so far into the first quarter. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
I was always going. Having to go in the middle of traffic and just starting and stopping. Having to go in the middle of a ball game and then not being able to go once I got there. And going at night. I thought I had a going problem. My doctor said I had a growing problem. It wasn't my bladder. My prostate was growing. I had an enlarging prostate that was causing my urinary symptoms. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Over time, Avodart actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go, and go less often.
Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to risk of a specific birth defect. Do not donate blood until 6 months after stopping Avodart. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely sexual side effects, swelling, or tenderness of the breasts can occur. Only your healthcare provider can tell if symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. So have regular exams. Call your doctor today. Avodart, help take care of your growing problem.
Monday, can Robin pass her citizenship test?
I want to say Jefferson.
Correct. Archie Bunker's neighbor was George Jefferson.
Then, girl trouble? Meet the love coach.
Relationships are all about withholding sex.
I think we should get some coffee and talk.
Accidentally on purpose after How I Met Your Mother, Monday.
Back in Minneapolis for the start of the second quarter. Minnesota with a 14-0 lead, and Sam Cook about to kick it away for Baltimore. This is Jamar Johnson at the 22, reverses field, looking for running room. Can't find much and spins down at about the 24-yard line.
Joe Flacco and the Baltimore training staff, we didn't see him get hit. He didn't go down, but we saw him limping going off, and here's why. A lot of traffic around him, and looks like Jared Allen steps right there. Ow. Yep, he steps on his left foot. And that was the play before on the screen. And Joe Flacco made it through the end of the series, and he wasn't limping badly going off, but that's an owie. That hurt.
So once again, Brett Favre and the Vikings. Now from their own 24-yard line. Favre 8 out of 10 for 94 yards and a pair of TD passes so far on the day. He started off with a give to Adrian Peterson, and Peterson for about a yard or two across the 25 as we check in once again in New York City with James Brown. JB.
Houston, Greg, is at Cincinnati, and it's Matt Schaub. Take a look here, creating an opportunity, moving to his left, hooking up with Owen Daniels, a 12-yard pass play, 11 plays, 68 yards. It's the Texans on top of Cincinnati, 7-0. Start of the second. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf.
James Brown, thank you so much. 2-yard pickup on the play, 2nd and 8.
Move! Alert!
Peterson again. And no gain there at all, as Brandon McKinney, number 91, got an arm on Peterson.
Well, there's a lot of stout folks manning the defensive line for the Ravens. You see Suggs was down in a stance, but McKinney working on the nose. He fights off the double team from Sullivan and Hutchinson. Nada closed it off on the backside. How'd you like to try to knock these guys out of there?
Sure, I'd look forward to that.
McKinney at 6'2", 324 is actually a pipsqueak compared to Haloti Nada.
3rd and 8 for Favre from the shotgun. Going to give it to Peterson. Make it Chester Taylor, who has come in on 3rd and long, and he's going to come up short of a first down.
Well, a good stand that time by the Ravens. And now maybe with a decent punt return, they'll end up with some better field position.
And this is Chris Carr back deep for the Baltimore Ravens.
John Harbaugh giving Ray Lewis some props right there. A 3 and out is exactly what they needed.
2nd in a row for the Baltimore defense. High. Carr to 29. Tries to split the defense. Made it across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And Joe Flacco looking for a way to jumpstart the Baltimore offense right after this.
10. Average number of fingers on which an NFL player would like to have Super Bowl rings. 10%. What you can save on ground shipping at FedEx office over the UPS store. We understand you need to save money.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
This is Tracy Palmer, and this is her restrictive calling circle. She's breaking free and saying, hey, 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 goodbye, and switching to Sprint with any mobile, anytime. Now on the Sprint network, she can call any mobile phone on any network, anytime, without worrying about the meter running. So she's calling every NFL fan in the country to talk a little smack about their team. Welcome to the Now Network. Get unlimited calling to every mobile phone nationwide when you switch to any mobile, anytime. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
Domino's just came out with 4 new oven-baked sandwiches. Let's see what we're up against.
This one has feta cheese and roasted red peppers.
We call that one our new Mediterranean veggie.
Do we have roasted anything? Domino's has 4 bold new oven-baked sandwiches for just $4.99, like buffalo chicken and Italian sausage and peppers. Domino's.
In 1970, the music of Philadelphia was killer.
This is my song on the radio. Without him, you were nothing.
A new cold case tonight, only CBS.
The shocking death of a former NFL star. Police called it a murder-suicide, but mistakes were made. An eye-opening CBS News investigation. Monday on The Early Show.
I look at John Harbaugh, who is used to his Ravens offense chalking up more yardage than they've been able to chalk up today. 5 rushes for 10 yards, 6 throws for 14 yards. Screen. Rice, 35. To about the 37 or 38-yard line.
And if you're going to screen Minnesota, screen it to Jared Allen's side, because you know you're going to get the big upfield rush. See Allen there on the right? He's out of the play as he rounds the corner, and then coming back, you're hoping to find a little soft spot. Again, Michael Orr does a good job running him upfield, and that's right, Jared's going, wow, I thought I had the edge. Ball's gone.
I mentioned to you during the break, Dan, the rookie has done a decent job on Jared Allen so far.
I like his technique. Good foundation, good leverage.
2nd and 4. This is Rice. And Rice to about the 40 before he's pushed back. And it'll be 3rd and about 2.
What kind of a trade was that for Minnesota to get Jared Allen away from Kansas City? What an impact. Keep in mind, he had 15.5 sacks his last year in Kansas City. When's the last time a guy got traded who had that kind of production?
Third and 2. Flacco going to throw for it. Has his man across the 45 to the 47, and that's Kelly Washington. And that's enough for a first down.
And Kelly Washington has been a pleasant addition for Baltimore because of his size. He gives them a physical presence at 6'3", and that's just a nice little pattern. Starts the crossing, stops, comes back out of it. Flacco delivers a good ball under pressure. Allen got there right after he threw it.
On first down, here's Rice again. Nothing doing there. While we have a moment, James Brown, a very busy man in New York City. JB?
Hey, Craig, Troy Polamalu comes back in a big way. He picks off a Cleveland pass. Pittsburgh capitalizes. Ben Roethlisberger with all day long, hooking up with the tight end Heath Miller, an 8-yard strike. Roethlisberger 7 of 10, 131 yards, 1 touchdown. Pittsburgh looking for its 12th straight over Cleveland. Greg and Dan.
All right, James, thank you.
Boy, the dreaded 3-man pass rush there. Roethlisberger, he must have held that for 6 or 7 seconds.
2nd and 10 for Flacco. Look out, Joe. From behind, that pass, he just got it away. There is no indication that it is anything but a live ball. And this is E.J. Henderson to the 5, touchdown.
Mike Carey, the official, the referee on the spot, rules it a fumble.
John Harbaugh already has the red flag in hand and now tosses it on the sideline.
That's Mike Carey's call. He just got informed that the challenge flag is already on the turf.
Coach Harbaugh thinks that was a forward pass and just told Mike Carey so.
He sure hopes it is.
Here's Mike Carey's explanation first.
Baltimore is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble. Timeout.
Well, there's Joe Flacco. Oh, that is going to be interesting. Contact was made, but did he lose the football before he started his forward motion? I think that's a forward pass.
The economy's been a little rough, man.
Oh, man, just brutal.
You know, it's times like these that E-Trade can really help you replan your investments.
Yep.
So, you know, it gives you the tools and research. Take control. Rise up.
Dude,
no.
What?
Stop.
What, I can't flex the golden pipes?
It's not the venue.
It's inspirational.
Any place.
Fine.
Okay, where was
And
I?
learn to fly again.
Take control with one of the most powerful investing machines there is. Join the 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
Ready for a refreshing new twist on Bud Light? Introducing Bud Light Golden Wheat. All the drinkability of Bud Light brewed with golden wheat for a refreshing new taste. Bud Light Golden Wheat. Light beer, huge flavor.
Flame broiled, fresh off the grill, and bigger than what you'd expect for a buck. Sorry, recession, it's nothing personal. Whopper Jr., only a buck. Big flame fresh taste, only at Burger King.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Burger King, who remind you to have it your way. FedEx, we understand your business could use a Dick Butkus pep talk. And by E-Trade.
Now, referee Mike Carey, one of the very best referees in the National Football League, has an interesting decision to make here. He says that this is a fumble, but watch Flacco with control of the football as his arm goes forward attempting the pass.
There's no question that Jared Allen hits him, but does he dislodge the football? I don't think so. See, if he dislodges the football and Flacco loses control, then it's a fumble. But I think Allen makes contact, slaps his hand.
After review, The quarterback's hand was hit by the defender. However, he had complete control when his arm went forward. Incomplete pass. Baltimore will not be charged with a team timeout.
Well, an uncomfortable spot for Mike Carey, having to overturn his own call.
But the right call.
But he does it, and he does it properly. And his explanation was spot on. While there was contact, Joe Flacco maintained complete control of the football. And John Harbaugh gets his timeout back.
And the points come off the board for the Minnesota Vikings, and still Ravens football. 9:47 to play in the second.
And there's just one of those pleasant circumstances where replay really shows you at its best.
Flacco now with a 3rd and 10. Flacco hit as he threw the ball. It's incomplete.
Man, that looked like half the Minnesota defensive line was moving before the football. Man, did they anticipate the snap count.
Wow.
It looked like Kevin Williams was across the line of scrimmage at the snap. Joe Flacco better start changing up the snap count, because the Vikings are all over it. You know, sometimes a young quarterback will fall into a rhythm of going on one or two too many times in a row, and a defense will tune into it and make a guess.
Jamar Johnson, the first-year man out of Jackson State, deep for the kick. It's a nice kick by Sam Cook. This one bounces inside the 5 and into the end zone for the touchback. 9:42 to play. First half, 14-0 Vikes.
The same impressive highway fuel economy you get in a Mini, now in a not-so-mini size. The all-new GMC Terrain, with an EPA estimated 32 miles per gallon highway. May the best car win.
So, heading to the doctor? Yeah. You gonna ask him this time? About what? Our erectile dysfunction. Shh, no, I don't want to talk about it. Look, you're not alone. Millions of men with ED have talked to their doctors. I don't know. We can do this. Okay.
Talking to your doctor about ED may be the last thing you want to do, but it's definitely a conversation worth having. 20 million men have had their Viagra talk. When you're ready for yours, you'll find helpful tips on talking to your doctor at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. Talk to your doctor today and ask if Viagra is right for you.
It's engineered to exceed even the highest standards. Yours. Announcing the 60-day satisfaction guarantee when you buy a new GMC. If you don't absolutely love it, return it. Simple as that.
It's the first word in the morning. It's the final word at night. Watch NFL Network. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
Wednesdays on Showtime, the Emmy Award-winning Inside the NFL returns. Join JB, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth, Warren Sapp on the longest-running show on cable, Inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime. Brad Childress watched his Vikings come to a screeching halt the last 2 possessions. Line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line, and Favre will give it to Peterson. Turning the corner, no! Stumbles down at the 20-yard line. Terrell Suggs getting credit for the tackle.
Well, Terrell Suggs gets credit for everything, and Adrian Peterson thought he was going to get that edge. But Suggs, who plays this game at a Pro Bowl level, he had contained, he had the edge, never gave it up. He strung that thing all the way to the sidelines and makes the tackle himself.
Well, Adrian Peterson told us yesterday that he watched Cedric Benson in his 120-yard game against the Ravens last week and said he has to be more patient. He thought Benson was very patient. Favre, incomplete. That one intended for Peterson.
Well, the blitz right up the middle, Brett. He realized there's no avoiding this truck. He's getting the old sorry about that from John Sullivan, the center, and they turned around and saw Brett flat on his back.
What did he call John Sullivan yesterday?
Well, they have their tackles are 6'8", and then it all descends down towards the 6'4" Sullivan in the middle that they call big midget. That's
only by comparison with everyone else on the line.
Well, when your two tackles are as huge as McKinney and Lodeholt.
Chester Taylor in the backfield with Favre on 3rd and 9. Favre over the middle, has his man across the 35. Sidney Rice, first down. Brett Favre says, with Sidney Rice, I feel like he's always going to win a one-on-one battle. That was no battle. He was wide open.
Well, he just goes down. This is 18 yards downfield. And if you wonder if Brett and his arm are still live, look at that spiral. That was a beautiful laser for Brett Favre. When he has an opportunity to step into it, maybe he doesn't throw off with the back foot quite like he used to be able to, but when he can step into it, it's as good as ever.
Movement on the far side, and that will be number 18, Sidney Rice, jumping way early.
And then McKinney, I think the tackle to this side went too. There was a little confusion on the snap count.
False start, offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty is still first.
They were going on both sides of the ball. These two tackles, there's McKinney, 74. Listed at 6'8", 335.
And then there's Phil Lodeholt.
Lodeholt on the other side, the rookie, their second-round draft pick, 6'8", 343. Are you kidding me?
Coming this way.
Makes some of the 18s jealous. The give is to Peterson. Peterson out to about the 39, where Ray Lewis makes the stop.
If you're a real football fan, you never get tired of watching number 52 play middle linebacker. Look at him come on in, take on the lead block of Tahi, go right over the top of him and make the tackle. His instincts, you know, maybe he's not as fast as he once was. Who knows? But his instincts are as sharp or sharper than they've ever been.
Favre throwing it away. His man Percy Harvin out in the flat was covered.
Yeah. Coverage rolled right up on Harvin, and Brett completes one to John Harbaugh. who does a knuckle slap here with some of his guys. He's pretty excited about that.
He was knuckle slapping with you all night.
And he's a likable guy. Of course, the Harbaugh family, a coaching family par excellence.
Now on 3rd and 10, Chester Taylor into the backfield for Minnesota. Just a two-man rush. Favre with time throws, and that's complete, and it's going to go nowhere, almost nowhere. Actually comes up about 2 yards short of a first down. Good job by the rookie, Percy Harvin.
Well, if you're worried about Harvin's shoulder and whether or not he was going to play soft trying to protect it, you can put that away. First of all, look at Percy Harvin get a great shot at the line of scrimmage before he releases. And then this is nothing but effort. Look at the shots he takes. Foxworth puts a good one on him. He fights through a couple guys. I think Percy Harvin is just fine.
Chris Carr fields it at his own 8. Thrown back to his own 5.
And Baltimore's field position woes continue.
What can I say? I've got discriminating taste.
It's true.
I never thought that I would find the one, you know, and I mean, I found ones in the past that I liked, but none that I really loved.
Until now?
Until now. It's awesome.
Do you love the taste of your beer this much?
We still on for tonight, right?
Well, you could. Try the great Pilsner taste of a triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and that means full-size deals on full-size trucks.
like Silverado, backed by America's best coverage. And with the lowest cost of ownership of any full-size pickup, it's America's best value, too. Now, during Chevy Truck Month, get 0% APR for 60 months or $6,000 total cash back on select 2009 Silverado vehicles in stock. See your local Chevy dealer.
Tuesday. First he drove us crazy with his pranks, now he dies in the driveway.
Sounds like you got a problem in your neighborhood, Mr. Rogers.
A new NCIS, them.
We are in a whole pile of trouble.
Get down! An assassin. So ruthless. This NCIS team will call in reinforcements.
I need you to look at some spatter.
Ooh, I love spatter.
TV's #1 new show.
She your nemesis, Leon?
Only if she buries me.
Don't miss a new NCIS Los Angeles after a new NCIS Tuesday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Miller Lite. There's light beer, and then there's triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. And by Chevy and our award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers.
For the second time today, the Ravens start inside their own 10-yard line. Their average drive start to 17.
And I think back to John Harbaugh yesterday saying to us, we have to run the football effectively to win. They have 12 yards rushing to this point.
That's not effectively.
No, it's not.
Willis McGahee in the backfield. McGahee with the handoff. McGahee going nowhere. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Pat Williams. Trying to spearhead that running game is a longtime Minnesota Viking, Matt Burke, now in a Baltimore uniform.
A real icon here in Minnesota. Minnesota native. His wife is here. Talked to Matt the other day. He said, I'll die in Minnesota, but life is all about new experiences, and I'm enjoying this one. But I will be back as soon as I'm done.
Second and 9. Flacco. Oh, what a catch made by Derrick Mason. And not a bad throw by the second-year quarterback, Joe Flacco.
Oh, you think? Watch this. Joe Flacco drops it right in over there. That's Carl Pema with the coverage. And even though he has to take a long stride on the second one, Derrick Mason, that foot comes down inbounds.
Now from the 35-yard line, McGahee again. And McGahee forward to about the 37-yard line. Chad Greenway with the stop.
That's a completion, Greg, that almost has points attached to it on the other side, because if they've got to punt it out of there inside their own 10-yard line, Minnesota's going to have such good field position. Even if they don't end up scoring on this drive, that first down, getting out of the hole, already down 14, that is big, big, big for Baltimore.
McGahee, the running back of choice now for John Harbaugh. McGahee losing yardage back to the 34. Jared Allen again. You know, Jared Allen is a tough assignment for anyone, let alone a rookie left tackle, Dan.
Well, the guy can play the run, too. He's just not a pass rushing prima donna. It's his hustle right down the line of scrimmage. Then the athletic ability to square, you know, drop your hips, get yourself gathered, and then drive in and make a tackle.
And what did Jared Allen tell us? My mindset is, you're a rookie, you're not going to block me, you just don't have enough snaps under your belt.
No, he's not short of confidence, and why should he?
False start, offense number 66.
Ben Grubbs, the left guard, guilty of the false start. And John Harbaugh seeing his offense struggle so far here this afternoon.
And really, I don't think the crowd's being all that noisy.
They practiced all week with deafening noise.
They're coming in a little bit now, but I've heard it a lot noisier here.
3rd and 15. Short pop to Rice. Rice can't get away. Forward to about the 39. That's about 6 yards short of a first down. Ben Lieber making the tackle.
I really did expect it to be that almost physical presence that the noise inside this stadium can be sometimes.
And so did the Ravens.
Yeah, and I think, well, quite frankly, I think jumping out to a 14-0 lead has got some of these people sitting on their hands.
Jamar Johnson again. Pull this one in. It is 14. Penalty marker is down.
That's coming back.
2 penalty markers are down. And as obvious penalties go, that one's right at the top of the list. Greg Lewis, number 17.
But again, we go back to that completion by Flacco. Look at the difference it's made now in field position. It's going to be Minnesota that's going to be all the way back inside their 10-yard line.
Well, there's some extended conversation on this one, even though there are 2 markers down on the field. Here's Mike Carey.
There was no foul for illegal block in the back by number 17.
Wow.
He maintained contact from a front approach, then it went around from behind. Therefore, there's no foul. First down. You picked that flag. Timeout.
Interesting that not 1 but 2 officials chose to throw a flag where there is no penalty.
The amazing Samsung Dual View. With LCD screens on the front and back of the camera. 2 screens, twice the fun.
So what's the problem?
These are hot. We're shipping them everywhere.
Well, we can't predict our shipping costs.
Dallas, Detroit, different rates.
Well, with us, it's the same flat rate. Same flat rate. Boston, Boise? Same flat rate.
Alabama, Alaska?
With priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, if it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
Dude's good.
Dude's real good.
Dudes. Priority mail flat rate boxes. Only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Pre-touch, razor test, trial 11.
Let's do it again.
We are Intel, sponsors of tomorrow.
Welcome back to Minneapolis. How about if we check out Ray Lewis? And you know, sometimes big plays happen in the film room on Wednesday and Thursday. Listen to Ray Lewis.
Coming this way.
That, folks, is recognition. That's realizing that's learning something by watching film on Wednesday or Thursday and then applying it on Sunday afternoon.
First down now for Favre and the Vikings, and the give is to Peterson, and Peterson across the 30 to the 32, where Ed Reed brings him to a stop. And that's no easy task to bring Adrian Peterson to a stop.
No, it's not. Is it fun to talk to that guy or what?
Yeah, it's just not fun shaking hands with him.
No, you got to get in there first. Shaking hands with Adrian Peterson, as I'm sure everyone knows by now, is not for the faint of heart.
Or the faint of hand.
Or the meek and mild manner. You got to get in there and strike first.
And I think he takes a perverse pleasure in hurting you. Favre, rolling, looking, and goes down at the 30.
Well, Brett got what he wanted. And talking to Brett, he said, you know, I would love to move out of the pocket more, not being chased out, but on designed plays, because I still feel that I throw on the run really well. And I want us to do more of that. That one did not work out at all, but he did the smart thing. You notice no throwing back across to the middle of the field like you see guys do that end up being big plays.
That wasn't always a Brett Favre philosophy.
No, it was not. That is the wise Brett Favre that just sat down.
3rd and 6. Favre will throw this one incomplete. That pass intended for Percy Harvin as Favre picks himself up off the desk. It's a 2-minute warning. 14-0 Vikings.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and that means full-size deals on full-size trucks. Like Silverado, backed by America's best coverage. And with the lowest cost of ownership of any full-size pickup, it's America's best value, too. Now, during Chevy Truck Month, get 0% APR for 60 months or $6,000 total cash back on select 2009 Silverado vehicles in stock. See your local Chevy dealer.
Monopoly is back at McDonald's. And this year, there's $1 million at stake every day. Get game pieces on favorites like the tasty new Angus 3rd Pounder burgers. Peel, collect, or play online for a chance to win a roll for $1 million. So what's your game?
Every business day, Bank of America lends nearly $3 billion to individuals, institutions, schools, organizations, and businesses in every corner of the economy. America, growing stronger every day.
Monster.com and the NFL are looking for the next director of fandemonium. If you win, you'll get to announce a pick at the 2010 NFL Draft. Join the coin toss ceremony at Super Bowl 45. Select a play at the 2011 NFL Pro Bowl and more. No fan could ever be closer to the game. Apply to win the best job in the NFL. Only at NFL.monster.com.
Come on, you're almost there. Just push.
CBS Wednesday.
He sticks to his type, 16 and 19-year-old girls, all blonde.
If he chooses you,
What does he want? Your baby? I'm not pregnant. You will be.
you better deliver.
It's a boy.
Brett Favre talking things over with Sage Rosenfels, who is the 3rd quarterback today for Minnesota. 4th and 6. Ed Reed is going to take a shot at returning this kick back at his own 25-yard line.
That is a high-priced punt return.
We'll let this one bounce. And he covered it pretty dangerously before it rolled any further than his own 17 or 18-yard line.
Hey, let's go back and look at the last incomplete pass. Number 92 is a Loti Nata. Depending on what he had for breakfast, he's somewhere in that 350 to 360 range. He buries Brett Favre, comes down, lands on top of him, hits his hand and wrist right after impact. Now keep in mind, you're a 40-year-old guy who just got buried by a mountain, and he's laughing about it. Is that the quintessential Brett Favre? Is that what he has been his entire career?
Having too much fun. Too much fun.
How could it be fun to get buried by Haloti Nada?
First down, Baltimore. They have all 3 of their timeouts, a minute 47 on the clock. Flacco, 7 of 11 for 71 yards. Little screen for Rice. Rice cutting it back. And a little running room across the 20 to the 21 where Ben Lieber makes the stop. Coming up to a minute and a half to play. Doesn't look like any real urgency on the part of the Ravens right now.
No, not looking at having to go another 79 yards for a touchdown.
Penalty markers fly as the short pop again to Rice, and Rice crosses the 25 to about the 27.
Looks like Ray Edwards was trying to guess the snap count.
And didn't succeed.
No, he went early. He was well across the ball at the snap.
Offside. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Well, that time Joe Flacco, he changed it up just enough. You can see right there, they're going on the silent count. When he raises his leg, he's giving the signal to his center, Matt Burke, that it's okay to snap it. And that time Edwards just guessed, but he guessed a half a second too early.
Yes.
And now we get a stoppage on the field.
An officials conference. I don't know that did they give Baltimore their full 5 yards?
Thank you. Good job.
No, they didn't. That was an incorrect spot of the ball, and the line judge realized it and stopped it.
So on 2nd and 2, Flacco throwing far side, complete, first down, and Mark Clayton looking for the sideline, doesn't get there, and the clock continues to move. We come up on a minute to play, and we get a timeout called.
Right. Now that you've got that first down, now you've got to think about getting in field goal range.
Minute and 2 to play in the first half. We'll be back.
If you got worries, then you're like me. Don't worry now, I won't hurt you. And if you got worries, then you're like me. Don't worry now, I won't desert you.
When it comes to protecting the things you care about, leave nothing to chance. Travelers, insurance for auto, home, and business.
62 seconds on the clock. Baltimore and Minnesota each with 2 timeouts remaining now. Flacco running out of time, completes the pass to Rice, and Rice across the 40 to about the 41. E.J. Henderson prevented any more mileage.
Let a lot of time burn.
7-yard pickup, 2nd and 3. Penalty markers fly. Flacco once again to Rice. Out to the 48.
Again, it looked like the Minnesota defensive line was moving.
Offside. Defense number 91 is declined. The result of the play, first down.
While we have a moment, a reminder, Sprint halftime report coming up. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher back in New York with all the latest NFL scores and highlights. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report.
Got to be a little discipline here now on the Minnesota defensive line. You can't stop the clock and give yardage like that.
Flacco running for his life and throws incomplete. Intended for Kelly Washington on the near side. Mediu Williams chasing from behind. 26 seconds to play.
Well, Joe had time to find a receiver. He just couldn't because of good work in the secondary of the Vikings.
Ravens at their own 48.
Need another 20 yards here.
And this one's going to go against Baltimore, so it's going to back them up. This one might have been the
False
rookie.
start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty to second down.
Michael Orr.
Well, Michael Orr, number 74, the second one in from the left. And he did. He rocked back, settled back on his haunches for the second time today.
And did you see Jared Allen dropping back into coverage?
Well, Michael Orr isn't the first guy that Jared Allen has gotten to false start.
Or the last.
No.
On 2nd and 15. Flacco with good protection, running out of time, got rid of it. This is Todd Heap, the tight end. Room to run, and he's out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. 17 seconds on the clock, and that is Steve Hauschka, the Baltimore place kicker,
who up until that play wasn't a factor. But all of a sudden, he's in play. Great job by Flacco of finding him, and a good job that time by Michael Orr, who had a real battle with Jared Allen.
Todd Heap's first catch of the day is good for 22 yards. This is the longest Baltimore drive of the day. Flacco with penalty markers down. That's complete inside the 15-yard line and out of bounds close to the 10.
And Jared Allen was across the line of scrimmage that time at the snap. I can't remember the last time I saw this many.
Offside. Defense number 69 is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
I can't remember the last time I saw this many line of scrimmage penalties in one drive. Edwards with a couple, Jared Allen, Michael Orr with a false start, and all of a sudden Baltimore, looking like they had no chance and in no big hurry, right under the 2-minute warning, has got a chance for a touchdown.
Now thinking 6 points instead of 3. 2 timeouts remaining, 12 seconds on the clock. Flacco with time, quick pass to Rice, and Rice maybe a yard. E.J. Henderson with the stop. And a timeout stops the clock with 6 seconds to play.
Well, the question is, do you try? Do you have a 5-second pass play to try? I don't. Doesn't look like it.
John Harbaugh thinks not.
If you had 7 or 8, I think you'd be tempted to try to run a quick out or something that gets it into the end zone. But at 6.
Well, if you were playing,
it'd be dicey.
If you were Notre Dame at home, you could be sure of having a second to go again.
I'll tell you one thing here, Greg. Brad Childress right there has something to talk to his team about at halftime. He's going to light into his defense for a really sloppy performance inside the 2-minute warning here. That he's got reason to light them up. Coaches love to have a reason to light their players up.
Baltimore and Flacco found some semblance of an offense here in the last minute and a half of the first half. This is from 29 yards out. Hauschka's kick is up and good. And so the Ravens are able to get some points on the board before time expires here in the first half.
Good work by Joe Flacco. The big play there, that dump off to Todd Heap, who was left totally alone by the Vikings defense. And he was able to get it across midfield. Now I'll guarantee you Brad Childress is smoking.
Baltimore's longest drive of the day, 71 yards, results in the field goal from Hauschka, and it's 14-3 Minnesota.
He's got to remind his defensive lineman that, yes, it's nice to try to get a head start, but look at the football. Go on the football. Don't go when you think the football is being snapped.
Two seconds on the clock. Adrian Peterson with 51 yards on the day. You know, John Harbaugh said he wanted to run the football today. He has not been able to do that.
Well, McGahee has 7 yards. Rice has 5. That's just... That is, if you told John Harbaugh that before the game, he'd say, yes, we'll be losing at halftime if that's all the more effective we are on the ground.
If you told him he'd only be losing 14-3, he might have been a little grateful.
He might have been.
Percy Harvin, fleet of foot, will not get a chance to touch this one. The ball bounced along the ground and picked off by Tahi and covers it as time expires. Well, the Minnesota Vikings and Brett Favre jumped off big in the first quarter. Favre with touchdown passes to Shiancoe and Bernard Berrian. And then 14-3 at halftime. Back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
Monday, when you're forced to be on the sidelines.
Compliments of the gentleman.
Sorry, someone beat you to it.
You can still get in there and coach.
Relationships are all about withholding sex.
Sweet mother of God. Accidentally on purpose.
I think we should get some coffee and talk.
New episode Monday, only CBS.
Every hero has his day.
He's brain dead, Eric.
But for this one, it may be his last.
You're leaving CSI.
The season for goodbye.
Clock
climb the world's tallest building. New Amazing Race tonight after 60 Minutes, only CBS.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
The NFL and its players are committed to improving the health of kids everywhere. That's why we're encouraging them to get at least 60 minutes of exercise and play every day. It's called NFL Play 60. The best 60 minutes of the day. Join the movement at NFLRush.com. Introducing the NFL Legacy Collection. Inspired by the AFL 50th anniversary. Authentic game jerseys, t-shirts, jackets, and other gear. Available at select retailers and NFLshop.com. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
Radar to help watch for the unforeseeable. Infrared to help protect. Satellites to help guide. Electricity to adjust how powerfully or efficiently you drive. Someday, we'll all drive like this. The first ever HS Hybrid, only from Lexus.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
And welcome back to our New York studios and the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm James Brown, along with my guys Dan, Bill, Shannon, and Bowman. Let's get you caught up on the scores and highlights. Vikings on top in the first half over the Ravens by the score 14-3.
Three keys to stopping the Vikings offense. Coach said gap integrity. With
Right.
the Ravens don't have it. 26-yard run from Adrian Peterson.
No integrity, Shannon?
Nope. And Visanthe Shiancoe, 19 yards. Brett Favre, touchdown, Minnesota. 7-0. Early, JB. Bernard Berrian, pick play. Brett Favre, 4 yards, touchdown. 14-0, 14-3, Minnesota.
Boy, that's like running off of West Sunset on that pick there, huh? All right, Houston and Bengals, boom.
Hey, a very entertaining game. Here comes Cedric Benson. He's going to score right here for the Cincinnati Bengals, right up the middle. That's going to tie it at 7-7. And then back comes Steve Slayton. He's got 9 attempts for 41 yards on the ground, but he also has this one right here, and he takes this one all the way 38 yards for the touchdown. They go up 14-7. Back come the Bengals. How about Lavernius Coles in the back of the end zone, right, guys? You got to know where you are. You got to keep your feet in bounds, and that's exactly what the veteran receiver does. The Bengals tack on a field goal right at halftime right there, 17-14. Very entertaining game.
Dot along the end line there. Bill.
Well, I'll tell you, Dan and Boomer could be passing here. Count the seconds.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Let's look over
okay.
here. There's Heath Miller. Yes, 8-yard touchdown pass after 6 seconds to look over the field. He'll also come back and hook up with Hines Ward in his 52-yard touchdown throw and catch. 14-0. But I'll tell you, look out for that Cleveland best player on the field for Cleveland, Joshua Cribbs. His third career kickoff return versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Takes his 98 yards for the touch. 14-7. Back in the game. Cleveland, Pittsburgh is driving at the end of the first half, looking to pick up more points. Right now, it's going to be, looks like 17-7 at the half.
All right, Coach. Meanwhile, Lions in pack. Dan.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers off to a good start here. He has all data throws going deep. James Jones, 47-yard touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 17 of 19, 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. This reception right here by Donald Driver makes him the all-time leading receiver in Packer history with 596 catches. Aaron Rodgers, little dump play to John Kuhn, who's wide open. 17-0 right now, Green Bay.
Wow, Danny. Unbelievable. All right, meanwhile, boom.
Yeah, you talked about 17 of 19 for Aaron Rodgers. How about for Drew Brees? 17 of 19, 242 yards. 3 touchdown passes. He's completed 15 straight passes. They're down inside the 5-yard line yet again here before the end of the second quarter, but the Giants are going to go away. They got a great quarterback in their own right. Eli Manning, also helped out by Dominic Hickson, who had 2 long kickoff returns, but here comes Eli Manning. He's going to find Mario Manningham right there. He's going to get 27-17. And as I said, New Orleans is driving right here before the end of the second quarter. going in for more points.
Hey, boom, Breeze can play. Boy.
And you think so, JB?
Oh, that's enough.
Washington did a great job, JB. They are honoring the U.S. Marines in Washington. Their offense, I'll be looking for a few good men because I tell you, they are anemic. So let's watch to show Washington's defense. The sack there by Brian Orepico. Chris Wilson's going to sack Castle here. Castle gets sacked for the third time and a half by Andre Carter. There is absolutely no offense in this game. That's why we don't show you one highlight. It's 3-0 right now, Kansas City at the half.
Hard hitting from that perspective, though, huh, Bill?
It was.
Mark Bulger, back to pass. Donnie Avery, 17 yards, touchdown, St. Louis. Could they possibly get a win and snap their 13-game losing streak? But big game, Torrey Holt. Against his former team, 41 yards. This leads to a pocket Hercules. Maurice Jones-Drew, 4-yard TD run. And the PAT was blocked, JB, 10-6. That's it.
Oh, Shannon, but at least they're ahead at the half, though, huh?
Yeah, they're ahead right now.
Hey, and Tampa Bay's Cadillac Williams, he bounces outside. No angle pursuit right here. He goes 20 yards for a touchdown, putting the Bucs up 7-0. D'Angelo Williams, stiff arms, gets outside, 20 yards for a touchdown, ties the game at 7. And then Tampa Bay here. Derek Ward fumbles this ball right here. Bad pitch, just goes on the ground. Hollis Thomas recovers. And then on a punt, Clifton Smith gets laid out by Dante Wesley here on a punt return.
He would have caught it.
Yes, he gets ejected, and then a fight breaks out. Wesley gets ejected.
All right, well, Coach said they need to run D'Angelo Williams more. Back to the second half. Ravens and Vikings after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
Monday, we know Robin is Canadian.
Wanna go? You wanna go?
But will she change her colors?
Ready to be an American? Question 1, who is this?
Queen Elizabeth II.
No, the answer is Elton John.
How I Met Your Mother.
Learn English!
Robin Scherbatsky, you are an American.
New episode Monday.
Run your fantasy football league with the most powerful league manager on the web. Brought to you by Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL. Visit cbssports.com/commissioner.
Customizable NFL gear. You create it. You design it. With any name, number, and color. Exclusive to NFLshop.com. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL. Track 3 games while watching a fourth and previewing the next. While following 3D drive charts, watching player highlights and rating players as you chat with some guy about T.O. in Buffalo and down Chicago-style pizza in New York. While catching Palomalu rob the Titans in Pittsburgh. NFL Game Center only at NFL.com. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
There's our halftime score. Brett Favre started out like a house of fire with touchdown passes to Shiancoe and Berrian in the first quarter. Baltimore with 3 just before halftime, 14-3 Minnesota. We'll come back to Minneapolis after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44.
Jay Moore stars in Gary Unmarried. Wednesday, only CBS.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
100 million whistles blown. 10 million Barca kings on thrones. 10 times that many united. More battles than Genghis. More kicks than karate. And more goals than any net can hold anywhere. 10 million backflips, 10 billion Blancos, 10 zillion Donovans. How big can soccer get?
Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Coach Shula. Coach Lombardi. Coach Cowher. make us better players and better people. To become a better coach, visit usafootball.com, the official youth football development partner of the NFL.
Our vision. Redefine high definition. Create blacker blacks for brighter colors. Using greener methods. We're revolutionizing how you watch, listen, and live. At Vizio, we find a better way, and we make it for everyone.
Yellow light, slow down. If you don't quit it, I'm going to turn this car around and nobody's going to the movies. I've always wanted to say that.
Monday, only CBS.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
This season, we're celebrating 50 years of NFL football on CBS, and this is a memorable one. Green Bay here in Minnesota. Herschel Walker, 47 yards here in his first carry in his first game for the Vikings, 148 yards on the day. One of the great memories here on CBS as we welcome you back to Minneapolis. There's our halftime score. Minnesota leading Baltimore by a score of 14-3. Greg Gumbel along with Dan Deerdorf. We said it from the very beginning of the day. John Harbaugh says we're not going to win this game if we don't run the football. And I think he's well aware at halftime they haven't done that.
Well, to this point, that's why they didn't win the first half. That's for sure, because they only have 13 total yards on the ground with 10 carries. You see the three guys that have carried the ball, and that is rushing futility at its best. And also, what goes hand in hand with not being able to run the football, they suffered from horrible field position. They were in their own end the entire time. And let's be realistic. If they can run the ball a little bit here in the second half, enjoy some better field position, they feel good about that field goal at the end. They're still very much in this game.
Sure, there are two rays of light for the Baltimore Ravens in this game. Number one, after those two quick touchdowns by Brett Favre and the Viking, they brought the Viking offense to a halt, shut them out the rest of the way. And secondly, they had that field goal going off the field for momentum.
Yep, they did pressure Brett Favre. They took away Peterson and his ability to break out. So I think this is a Baltimore team right now that I think feels good about themselves, considering that they're down by 11 points.
Well, Baltimore is going to get the football to start the second half, and we remind you this game brought to you in high definition here on CBS. And the other thing about this game, Dan, you mentioned it in the first half, it is not nearly as loud as we expected, and more importantly, not nearly as loud as the Baltimore Ravens expected.
No, I agree on both fronts, and I'm a little surprised. Now, maybe at the start of the second half here, maybe the crowd will realize that they could help out. But they've been, and again, I go back, I think it was just the quick 14-0 lead. They're going, well, this is a yawner. This is well in hand.
How about Joe Flacco saying he was tired of all the noise in practice all week?
He used the word annoying. That's a big word with his generation.
Lardarius Webb from the 2. Gets up ahead of speed, 30. Spinning, 35, and out to about the 38 or the 39-yard line. A fine return by Lardarius Webb, and we have a penalty marker back at about the 20. Two of them, in fact. This game has not been without its yellow handkerchiefs.
Well, and again, though, there's a chance for the Ravens to start with really good field position. The best they've seen in quite some time, and now that's gone up in smoke.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, number 29, half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
You're right, there goes that field position. And, you know, there's another thing about this game, Dan. We thought maybe it would be a little chippier than it's been so far, although there's still time.
Yeah, it has not been bad. Two huge physical teams, and Joe Flacco, if you look at his first half, look at that completion percentage, 14 of 19, and under a lot of pressure at times. So Joe has hung in there, and he is Let me tell you something. There is nothing to not like about Joe Flacco and his quarterbacking future in this league.
From their own 10-yard line, Willis McGahee getting the start in the backfield and can't get away from one Jared Allen.
Well, he's got the outside shoulder and the upfield contained to his side of the field. That's called gap control. That's Jared Allen's gap, and he honored it. He stayed there. Look at him fight. See, he's working against Todd Heap, who's doing his darndest to hold him and everything else. And Jared Allen stayed with it, but his job was to get on that outside shoulder and not surrender it.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. McGahee again. Slipped as he got started, got nowhere.
Well, all of a sudden now, after a couple futile attempts to run, now the crowd's starting to get a little excited, and it's in Joe Flacco's hands right now. He converted an awfully big 3rd down, backed up to his goal line right at the end of the first half on that field goal drive. But John Harbaugh knows you can't make a diet of this. You can't make a steady diet of this. This is disaster waiting to happen.
Ray Rice back across the original line of scrimmage to about the 12, and that man Allen, Jared Allen with the stop, and it'll be the punting unit coming onto the field for Baltimore.
And there was his acknowledgement of how much of a disaster that was waiting to happen. 3 straight runs to nowhere.
And put it in the hand of your kicker, Sam Cook. Jamar Johnson back at his own 40-yard line. Cook. Inside 40.